The Personal Data Privacy Amendment Ordinance 2021 has come into force to combat doxing. Since mid-2019, there have been rampant doxing acts in Hong Kong, which not only intrude on personal data privacy, but also test the limits of morality and the law. The Office of the Privacy Commissioner for Personal Data has handled about 6,000 doxing cases over the past 2 years. Members of the public have strongly requested that the government criminalize doxing acts and step up enforcement to combat doxing.
In addition to causing harassment, molestation, pestering, threat, intimidation, or psychological harm to the victims and their family members, doxing can also create a chilling effect in society and discourage people from expressing their views. As the authority that administers the Personal Data Privacy Ordinance, it is our responsibility to protect the personal data privacy of individuals. The amendments to the Privacy Ordinance will enable us to combat doxing behavior more quickly and effectively.
How would one commit the offense of doxing? Let's take a look.
I'm receiving hundreds of calls per day. It's awful. Who published my phone number online?
Why is my personal data disclosed online maliciously?
My photos and personal data with messages threatening me and my daughter appear everywhere. This is so embarrassing.
Anyone who discloses the personal data of another person without consent, whether recklessly or with intent to cause specified harm to the person or his or her family, such as harassment, molestation, pestering, threat, intimidation, bodily or psychological harm or damage to property, commits the offense of doxing. Doxing is a criminal offense. Don't break the law.
The amendments aim to combat doxing acts that are intrusive to personal data privacy through the criminalization of doxing acts and by conferring on the Privacy Commissioner statutory powers to issue cessation notices to demand the cessation or restriction of disclosure of doxing content. The amendments also confer on the Privacy Commissioner powers to conduct criminal investigations and institute prosecutions for doxing cases so as to strengthen enforcement against doxing cases. The amendments provide the Privacy Commissioner with appropriate enforcement powers. The scope of the offense is clearly defined, specific, and targets doxers who publish doxing messages. The new enforcement powers granted to the Privacy Commissioner are similar to those of other law enforcement agencies.
The amendments have struck a reasonable balance between the protection of privacy and freedom of speech, and will not affect the freedom of speech and free flow of information that members of the public currently enjoy. In the online world, anyone who discloses the personal data of another person without consent, whether recklessly or with intent to cause specified harm to the person or his or her family, may commit the offense of doxing. Everyone should think twice before reposting any message that appears to be related to doxing to avoid breaking the law. Lastly, I would like to remind everyone that doxing is a criminal offense. Don't break the law.